Is a disorder of the skin where melanocytes are absent in the epidermis, causing depigmented patches to form. It can start due to multiple factors such as genetics, environment, chemical, stress, and autoimmune disease. The symptom caused by this disorder are patches of white skin. The skin of these patches can vary from millimeters to centimeters and may enlarge unexpectedly. Aside from physical symptoms, vitiligo also causes psychological symptoms like depression and low self-esteem. The prognosis for vitiligo is non-life-threatening without any treatments. It is also non-contagious, but some report itchiness and mild pain in the affected area. Treatment for vitiligo aims to stop further depigmentation and to regain repigmentation. The treatment may include the following. Topical creams like corticosteroid and calcineurin inhibitor are used to dampen the immune response. These treatments have been shown to work better in children compared to adults. Systematic medication include corticosteroid taken in capsule form. An example of this would be low dose of oral dexamethasone, which stop progression of vitiligo in 92% of patients. Phototherapy is a therapy that uses UV light. UV is promising because it causes innate and cellular immunosuppression and even causes melanocytes to proliferate. The following are various phototherapy currently available. PUVA light therapy combine UVA light with psoralen medication to restore skin color. Psoralen is mutation. PUVA Sol uses the sun as UV light source with psoralen. Monochromatic excimer light laser therapy uses high intensity UVB light. Broadband UVB and narrowband UVB are other phototherapy used. Although broadband UVB has shown better repigmentation result, narrowband UVB uses less harmful UV wavelengths. The UVA1 and broadband UVA are other phototherapy currently being used. Most doctors use a combination of these treatments. There are many more treatments being researched right now. Currently, scientists know vitiligo is due to loss of melanocytes in affected area, causing the white patch of the skin. Scientists are currently able to produce treatments to repigmentation the affected area. Although the disease is non-life-threatening and non-contagious, a cure is still under research. Generally, research suggests an autoimmune problem is the cause of vitiligo. All race and gender can be affected by vitiligo.
Vitiligo is an autoimmune disease, meaning the immune system launches an attack on perfectly healthy cells. In this case, the immune system launches an attack on melanocytes, which are essential for skin pigmentation. Death of these cells results in loss of skin color and blotches all over the body. In this flowchart, we will go over four main topics. First, what cells encounter the vitiligo melanocytes, what they do once they encounter them, relevant signals or cytokines they secrete, and lastly, we will go over the cells of the immune system that actually do the killing of these vitiligo melanocytes. First of all, vitiligo melanocytes secrete HSP proteins, which are stress proteins. These proteins are detected by antigen-presenting cells, or APCs, more specifically dendritic cells. These APCs secrete cytokines, which are signals to other leukocytes. One of these cytokines secreted is IFN-alpha, which is a pro-inflammatory cytokine. This kind of cytokine is essential to attract other leukocytes to the site of attack. Another cytokine secreted is IL-12, or interleukin-12, which promotes T helper cell responses. These antigen-presenting cells present antigen to CD8-positive T cells, which mature into CTL precursors and then further mature into cytotoxic T lymphocytes, or CTLs, which are the actual cells that do the killing of melanocytes. In order for CD8-positive T cells to mature into CTLs, they must undergo differentiation. This happens in the slows, or the secondary lymphoid organs. In this case, we are talking about the thymus, because the T in T cells stands for thymus, which is where they differentiate. Differentiation needs 3 steps. First, the precursor CTL, or CTL-P, TCR or T cell receptor has to engage the MHC class 1 on the licensed APC. Also, there is a need for engagement of co-stimulatory ligands such as CD28 on the naive T cell and CD80/86 on the licensed APC. In response to TCR activation, precursor CTLs upregulate expression of IL-2 receptor. IL-2 is secreted by T helper cells such as Th1 or Th17. In order for an APC to become licensed, it needs to come into contact with microbial products, or also needs to come into contact with CD40L, which is a ligand of T helper cells. This serves as a co-stimulatory response for the APC in order to become licensed. Cytotoxic T lymphocytes which have matured from CD8 positive T cells kill via cell-to-cell conjugate, which just means that the cell needs to get close enough in order to form this conjugate and can kill via granules or apoptosis. CTLs contain granules which contents include granzymes and perforin. Granzymes lead to the fragmentation of DNA, and perforins form pores in the membrane of the target cell. CTLs can also kill via apoptosis, which is the interaction of the Fas and Fas ligand receptors, and is also called the kiss of death.
We will now go over the challenges in treating vitiligo, as well as current treatments and areas for future research. Vitiligo is caused by improper secretion of melanin in melanocytes of the skin, and may be due to viral, genetic, or autoimmune factors. When treating the autoimmune model, treatments will make the patients more susceptible to infection, and unfortunately, symptoms will return once treatment ceases. Psychological and social impact of the disease should also be taken into consideration, and clinicians recommend psychological as well as physiological therapy. There are two broad types of vitiligo, segmental and non-segmental, which may respond differently to the same types of therapies. This poses a challenge when developing new treatments. Current treatments for vitiligo include systematic medication, like oral corticosteroids, immunoregulators, and antibiotics. Statins are a hot area of research, as they downregulate MHC2 and inflammatory cytokines to reduce the body's inflammatory response. Topical treatments such as topical immunoregulators, steroids, and inhibitors have also been found to be effective, and tacrolimus brilliantly shows the difference in efficacy between the two types of vitiligo, with NSV at 94 and SV at 77%. Phototherapy, such as Puvasol, uses a psoralen mutagen activated by UVA light in order to reactivate melanocytes. Puvasol replaces this artificial UVA light activation with light absorbed from the sun. Narrowband and broadband UVB light, as well as UVA light and monochromatic excimer light therapies, are also used to re-stimulate melanocytes. Narrowband UVB light, however, predominates due to its low ADR and low rates of repigmentation. There's still a lot of areas to research for treatments for vitiligo, including the efficacy of immunosuppressants and determining which topical treatments are most effective, as well as whether phototherapy is a more suitable option for initial treatment of vitiligo. Combination therapies that use light, topical, and skin grafts therapies may also be the way to find a more effective treatment. A couple innovative therapies include alpha-melanotide, a synthetic alpha-melanocyte stimulating hormone that is used alongside narrowband UVB activation to reduce symptoms. Pseudocatalase also uses narrowband UVB activation and is used alongside calcium treatments to boost efficacy from 60 to 95% on the face and hands. In summary, there is still no cure for vitiligo, but there are a lot of treatment options and research being done on the topic.
Vitiligo has a social impact since people with vitiligo are more likely to have depression. This may be from the beauty stigma associated with vitiligo, since it causes white patches of skin. Although vitiligo is found in both genders equally, females are more likely to report it. This may be because females are under more pressure to follow beauty standards. However, times are changing. Models with vitiligo have been showing up, such as Winnie Harlow. She was a contestant on America's Next Top Model and placed 6th in 2014. On June 25, 2011, the first World Vitiligo Day was celebrated, and their motto was to save millions from social isolation and persecution. Vitiligo also has a global impact. 50 million people are affected with vitiligo worldwide. Although research shows race has no effect on vitiligo, Africa has the highest prevalence. This might be because vitiligo is more noticeable in dark-skinned people. Vitiligo also has an economic impact, especially for those who pay out of pocket for treatment. Cost of treatment can vary. Topical creams can cost $500 to $300 monthly, and laser therapies may cost $100 to $5,000 a session. Research for vitiligo is also costly, especially since scientists are on the hunt for a cure. Funding for vitiligo is needed. There are many nonprofits like Vitiligo Research Foundation, but they rely on donations to help fund research on vitiligo. Research about vitiligo is done around the globe. China seems to publish the most number of papers about vitiligo over the years. Some facilities that research vitiligo is the Hospital of China Medical University, New York University School of Medicine, and the University of Massachusetts Vitiligo Clinic and Research Center. Who will benefit? The 50 million people will benefit from the research. A better treatment may mean a step closer to a cure. Pharmaceutical companies may also benefit from research to produce better medications, which mean more money. Astellas is an example of a pharmaceutical company that produces topical corticosteroids cream for vitiligo. On the other hand, better treatment may also hurt pharmaceuticals. Lasers and ultraviolet light therapies are growing and may replace medicinal treatments, but only time will tell.